the Knight and the Firewing. The sky burned crimson as the dragon descended, its massive wings casting a shadow over the scorched valley below. The villagers had fled hours ago, their screams echoing through the hills as the beast laid waste to their homes. All that remained now was Sir Aldrich, the last knight of the Order of the Silver Flame. Clad in battered armor and wielding a sword etched with ancient runes, Aldrich stood alone at the edge of the valley. His steed had fled in terror, leaving him to face the dragon on foot. The beast landed with a thunderous crash, its talons sinking into the earth. Its scales shimmered like molten gold, and its eyes glowed with the fury of an inferno. "So, another fool comes to die," the dragon rumbled, its voice a deep, resonant growl. Smoke curled from its nostrils as it spoke. "What makes you think you're any different from the others?" Aldrich tightened his grip on his sword. "I am not here for glory or riches, beast. I am here because it is my duty." The dragon laughed, a sound that shook the ground. "Duty? A quaint notion. Do you not see? I am fire incarnate, the wrath of the gods. You cannot hope to defeat me." Aldrich said nothing. Instead, he raised his shield and charged, his boots pounding against the charred ground. The dragon reared back and unleashed a torrent of flame. Aldrich dove to the side, the heat licking at his armor but failing to consume him. The runes on his sword and shield glowed faintly, a testament to the enchantments placed upon them. The knight rolled to his feet and lunged, his sword slicing through the air. The blade struck the dragon's side, sparks flying as it scraped against the scales. The beast roared in anger and swiped with its massive tail, sending Aldrich sprawling. "You are persistent, little knight," the dragon hissed. "But persistence will not save you." Aldrich struggled to his feet, blood trickling from a gash on his forehead. He whispered a prayer to the silver flame, his voice steady despite the pain. The runes on his sword flared brightly, and the blade grew lighter in his hand. The dragon lunged, its jaws snapping shut inches from Aldrich's face. The knight sidestepped and drove his sword into the dragon's neck, finding a weak point between the scales. The beast howled in pain and thrashed, its wings kicking up a storm of ash and dust. With a mighty roar, the dragon launched itself into the air, dragging Aldrich with it. The knight clung to his sword, the wind whipping around him. Higher and higher they climbed until the village was nothing more than a speck below. "You cannot win," the dragon bellowed, twisting and turning in an attempt to shake him off. Aldrich gritted his teeth and climbed onto the dragon's back, using the ridges of its scales as handholds. He raised his sword and drove it deep into the base of the dragon's skull. The beast let out a final, deafening scream before its wings faltered, and they plummeted toward the earth. The impact shook the valley. When the dust settled, the dragon lay still, its massive body broken. Aldrich crawled from beneath the wreckage, his armor dented and his body battered. He stood shakily, leaning on his sword for support. The villagers returned cautiously, their fear giving way to awe as they beheld the slain dragon and the lone knight who had defeated it. Aldrich, bloodied but unbowed, looked to the horizon where the sun was rising. The dragon was dead, but the cost was high. Yet Aldrich knew that, for now, his duty was fulfilled. The valley was safe, and the silver flame still burned within him,